Hello, good evening, audience. It's Shine at 9 again, the next episode. Today, it's episode 8 already. Can you believe it? We've been on air for 8 nights, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And today, episode 8, we have entitled it Competencies for the short name, but we will share with you a lot more on what this word competency is. So before we go on further, today it's a 1-hour session. I have got 2 guests with me in the studio. Allow me to introduce my first guest. With his motto, Impact Lives Through Coaching and Training, the founder and senior director of ProTime Group and Academy, Dr. Timothy K.K. Law, filled up his career with passion to inspire people. With that, I welcome my first guest, Dr. Timothy.
Hi, good evening, friends. Selamat sejahtera, selamat berbuka puasa. I hope to all my Muslim friends, great to see everyone here tonight.
Hi, Dr. Tim. Happy to have you here. Happy to have you here. All right. So if you're joining us, we're having 2 guests tonight, so it's quite a big show. Drop us a like, say hello to us. Don't leave us alone here talking to ourselves. And also, if you're so kind, just click a share. Organize a watch party for us. That would be amazing. Okay, introducing my second guest for the evening. So along with Dr. Tim tonight, we have Mr. Stevern Phong. Stevern has been in the insurance field for almost 20 years now. He is the CEO and director of Wealth 360 Sdn Bhd. Let's say hello to Stevern. Hi, Stevern.
Hello, everyone. Hi, everyone. Nice to see everyone tonight. Let's have a good session and let's rock and roll, yeah?
All right. Okay. Tim, do you mind sharing a little bit about yourself?
Hi, thank you, Geraldine, for inviting myself and also Stephen along for this great show. 8 is a very wonderful number, isn't it?
Indeed, I thought the same when I wrote it out.
Yeah. Well, I come from a background which is from a creative background actually. Sometimes I ask friends, take a wild guess, what's my first profession? Maybe throw it out to our friends tonight, attending tonight's show. Yeah, take a wild guess. What do you think was my first profession, a first job, a professional job? Mind you, So, of course, being young and adventurous, I sort of moved on to take on more serious in terms of academic and as well as getting working experience in corporate organizations, and sort of molded myself to be one who is a learning facilitator. I enjoy discovering facts. I love to ask questions. I love to look into curiosity, at times trigger the adrenaline for me to learn new things, and of course to share and teach to others as well. That's a little bit about myself.
Wonderful. Thank you for that, a little bit of sharing. Of course, we'll get to know you as we go through the hour, yeah? Okay, how about you, Stephen? Would love to hear about you as well.
Well, I was started off in the financial world about 20 years ago, but back then I was trained in advertising in the advertising world. So basically, art and designs and colors and things like that is always in my surroundings. So, however, I bumped into the financial line about 20 years ago, and from there onwards, I've never looked back, and it has been then since from my financial journey in this industry. So I would say that it is very fruitful. It was fruitful and very empowering business to venture into. And I can't wait to share with some of the ideas tonight, some of the things I found out, in the next couple of years on the road and things like that for us. Yeah? Thank you.
Stephen, I actually saw your curriculum vitae, yeah? It's pertinent to this episode. That's why I'm asking you. I hope it's not too sensitive to share. What made you switch from design into insurance? I did see it in your resume.
Correct. It's a very bizarre situation whereby the financial market during the Asian financial crisis back in 1998, that is where a lot of us in the advertising world got caught in the situation. So it was that moment that we have to look for alternative. And
Mhm.
somehow or other, during the financial crisis, I believe that that is the alternative we went into. I think it's quite bizarre. Financial
Yeah.
crisis went into the financial world. So,
Interesting,
however,
isn't
from
it?
there onwards, yeah, correct, Eric. So from there onwards, it's very fruitful. There were always ups and downs, but I would say that it has been really, very flourishing for everyone here.
Yeah,
Ah,
totally.
fantastic, Stephen.
I'm so sorry if it's a P&C thing, but I thought it's really important to emphasize or to bring it up. Yeah, because I'm seeing a connection there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right. Well,
Indeed.
yeah.
well, some will say that can an artist do calculation and things like that? I say no, I can't.
Oh, I thought the answer would be why not? Okay, I want to do a shout out to Anytime. She's saying hi, team and Stephen. This is Anytime. You guys are super awesome. Happy to see you both on air sharing your experience. Thank you, Annie.
Hi,
I think she
Jenny.
can see into
Hello,
the
hello,
future.
hello,
She
hello.
knows that you're going to share your experience here.
Well,
Okay.
it looks like there are some common friends. So when I asked the question just now, guess, think about guess what my first profession. I think some common friends like Shani will realize Tim, if you know me, say 25 years ago, would be someone long hair, all right, wearing tight jeans and dark glasses, doing shows as a musician, actually,
For real.
as a classical violinist and of course a saxophonist. Yeah,
Oh,
Wow.
serious, huh?
I
Oh,
yeah.
wouldn't have
No,
guessed it.
yeah, never had guessed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because now looking at the topic, Geraldine, when you invited myself and Stephen to come on board tonight for the show, what the strongest word that impact me is the word competencies. Yeah.
Yes.
So and that is that this word carries so much impact to my life because
Mhm.
everything in life needs to have this competency, which is defined as being the right person doing a particular right job skill set that is needed to perform well. Musicians need that to be competent.
Yep.
Artists who draw well need that skill set of competency for them to deliver outstanding pieces of their art and
Yep.
music. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Actually, you're right. You and I, we were discussing and planning for this episode. Yeah. So let's
Yeah.
just share a little bit with the audience. Audience, I'm so sorry if you're hearing some echo or some lag in this episode. We did experience some technical difficulties at the back of the behind the scenes. So if you can just bear with us, yeah. All right. So I have prepared something here to read out to all of you. Yeah. Why are we here tonight? Dr. Tim has prepared a sharing session with us entitled, What are the key competencies needed to enter and prosper in the new norm? So in my opinion, wow, this is like, we all need to hear this. So much uncertainties. We need to equip ourselves with
Indeed.
the right competencies, right, Tim?
Indeed.
So,
Indeed.
so
Yeah.
it's exactly, it's like a defense mechanism to shield ourselves from, I don't know, losing a job maybe. But
Yeah.
also, if you think about it, it's an attack strategy to give us that extra edge needed in the workplace,
Indeed.
right?
Indeed.
Just a quick
Indeed.
introduction of what you're about to say, yeah? Okay, so Tim, if you're ready, the show's yours now. I'll put on your presentation slide, okay? And
Indeed. Thank you.
off
Thank you.
our faces will go from the screen.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, you may begin.
Well, the highlighted word, what are the key competencies needed to enter and prosper in the new norm? Over these 7 weeks, I sort of observe and analyze, and I talk to many business owners and CEOs, CFOs, and stakeholders who are managing businesses. And a lot of them ask me, so Tim, with now COVID happens already, and we are now smack in the middle of MCO. What do you think our workforce, the people that has been always working with us closely, what sort of skill set do you think they need? Yeah, when MCO is lifted, when we are back into this embracing this new normal, back to the workplace environment. What are some new things that my team, my colleagues, my managers, my team players, my new recruits, people that, hey, I want a job now, I need a new position, I need something to do. What are these new skills, competencies that need to assist people to do well in their whatever job scopes and responsibility? Now, there was a newspaper cutting which I have sort of detected from the newspaper on New Straits Times. Maybe Geraldine, can you help me press to the next slide, please? Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last week newspaper, stay on the course. This struck me while in the morning at 7:30 a.m. I saw this newspaper headline, and I asked myself immediately, are we really on the course? Are we really on the course? So maybe a point of reflection at this moment today is the Thursday of May here, entering another third week, and we got another 6 more weeks of MCO. Now is not the time to ask why this happened to us, why COVID happens. This is not the time to procrastinate also. My dear business owner friends, and if you are senior management of organizations and you are the leaders, this is not the time to procrastinate. This is the call to take action. And of course, are we really on course? Well, my dear friends, this is the time, if we were to choose not to learn and not to take responsibility, it will be a terrible shame as leaders and people who are spurring on, inspiring people best working with us, surrounding us for many, many months and years. This is the time that everyone got to pull our hearts together to learn and to take responsibility. So let's roll on. We are indeed on course. Now, being in Malaysia, I sort of meet CEOs, and one of my dear friends is Stevern, whom is a dynamic CEO. I always joke with him, we are not that young anymore. We are not that young. So I asked Stephen the same questions. Yeah, I Stephen, you are
Yes.
a CEO. Yeah, you
that's
have
right.
been in the business for almost 15 years, 20 years and above, and you have a dynamic team of nearly about 80 to 100 people in your organizations that you are spearheading, right? Especially in the industry of business, as a business owner, the current state of mind as a CEO, what do you really require from the team and from the staff currently? What do you actually need from them?
Well, a very good question, Dr. Tim. Very good question here, because
Tim is fine, yeah.
yeah, amidst this financial this pandemic crisis, not financial crisis. As a matter of fact, this crisis, this situation that we are going through, it's somehow rather even more drastic than the previous financial crisis, that Asian financial crisis. So I would say that the mindset, no one have prepared for this situation. The world has not been prepared for this pandemic situation. The question would be, what sort of mentality, what sort of a mentality that we need to adopt? I would say that basically the first and foremost, the very important mindset that we have is to remain calm and positive. No doubt the situation might not feel that it is. However, we feel that staying calm and being positive is just one. And there's another way to look into the situation would be, we have to adapt to the environment structure, to the environment changes. We have to adapt to, example, even right now. Now we are doing talk shows. Previously, we aren't even doing that. We aren't even connecting to the technologies. So we have to adapt to changes at all times. So as being in the business itself, we really have to be resilient. In other words, to remain calm and going through the storm. This is what is needed most at this point in time,
Right.
for every single one. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I was conversing with Geraldine over the weekend last week. Yeah, Geraldine, and we in our conversation, I also conversed with Jerry. I say, hey, a lot of people need selling skills. For example, how to be effectively selling a product or a service. So Geraldine sort of asked me, so Dr. Tim, how do we build trust for customers to be able to really buy something of from us? Yeah, and I detected from a book. I sort of lovely capture what Dr. Stephen Covey wrote in his book entitled "The Speed of Trust." In the book, Dr. Stephen Covey wrote, "No, trust is not built solely on integrity." Okay, we
Should I
fellow
move your slide?
Malaysians, yeah,
Should I move
we are
your
all
slide?
fellow Malaysians. Yes, please do. Yeah, we are all fellow Malaysians. Yeah, and we talk about the kind of trust that we need to really build on in this time of solidarity, in this time of humbleness, and in this reset button that hits everyone globally. So, um, if we look at the quote from Dr. Stephen Covey, trust is not built solely on integrity, but on competence as well. Now, as a HR practitioner myself, and Stephen, you are a CEO of the companies that you are spearheading. How can we relate this trust and integrity and as well as competence to engage to our fellow team members, our colleagues, our leaders that we have been working for many years with them? Yeah, our relationship with them has been so well bonded, but unfortunately this reset button make us question, is there really trust? Can our team really tell our stakeholders, our customers, that we are men and women of integrity? And if we can do that well, that means that the competency of our professionalism in the workforce as leaders, as business owners, will be deemed demonstrated. What do you think, Stephen?
Very interesting because, Tim, you mentioned that the word competence. I would say that in the world of sales, survival of the fittest, it is very
Mm-hmm.
important. That's how we go into because the competition is going to be fierce. Even now, amidst the virus pandemic situation, we are not
Mm-hmm.
even slowing down. We are actually moving forward, like what you have said. We are pushing forward. So when you mention the word competence, I will feel that we have to significantly upgrade ourselves in every situation to adapt with to upgrade ourselves in terms of our knowledge to lead at certain situations.
Right.
Well, it is very I would say it's very liquid. Well, I say it depends on the situation, but competence is about staying alive, staying
Mhm.
on top of the hierarchy. So basically, yes, true. It's true.
Mhm. Well, audience, feel free to give your comments and feedback, and Geraldine will also capture these comments and feedback. We love to hear from you, right, Geraldine? Yeah,
Of course.
we love to have your comments and your feedback. Please
Yep.
Yeah.
participate and contribute, yeah, and we make it interactive as well, and we will address to some questions and answers shortly towards the end of the session. Now, in the next slide, this is captured from the newspaper write-up last week as well. In the business section, it appears that entrepreneurs need to understand how money is made and how beyond financial value is created. That means the author says that, look, guys, if you are the business owner, you got a product and service to sell to the marketplace, you got to create some form of financial value for the marketplace to respect and to trade with you. Yeah. So, and I now sort of want to explore a little bit in that. Yeah. So, as professionals, Stephen, you are in the area of financial institution and also financial advisory business that you are championing and spearheading, to have your team able to portray a value at this current point of time, all right? Have you come across a customer telling yourself or your sales team that say, now you guys are not showing me the value, show me the money instead, yeah? Because the reality of the writer states, no, is the person who understands how money is made and how financial value is created. So question is that we want professional people who appreciate the intricacies of setting a business strategy and executing initiatives to deliver the desired financial results. In short, layman terms, Stephen, if I am your chief sales officer, Stephen, I'm your chief sales officer, all right? As a CEO, what do you expect your chief sales officer to be professional, to be able to advise clients on a particular strategy, to guide them through, see the light 3 months, 6 months down the road, and to be able to deliver some sort of expectation called achieving financial results? Mr. CEO, what do you think?
This is even the point that in terms of the salesperson, I would say that regardless the situation, it's all about the person-to-person basis. So some will be financially driven in terms of the salesperson. Some will be motivated through recognitions. So it varies from person to person. So if you ask me, if you ask me personally, money motivates. Money motivates. Yeah, money motivates. Yeah, to drive the sales force to perform even better on a day-to-day basis. This is where the incentives and financial related incentive evolve. But in the long run, is this a sustainable structure, or is this a sustainable concept to always
sustainable?
Yeah, to always to portray money motivates the financial advisors. Yes and no. It all really depends on the situation. If you ask me, I will say that look at the long term. Look at the long term of the financial results, and look at the long term at end of time, what we can produce or what we can help and assist our client. That is the main thing of the financial objective for what we do always. It is not, of course, I would be like Mother Teresa would say that, yes, no, we do everything that it is. But however, what motivates the financial advisors is money, financial rewards. But the objective is to produce result or produce the promise that we provided to our client. That's the most significant thing that we are focusing on all the time.
Well. Geraldine, what do you think? You have been in the people-oriented business for so long. What do you think when it talks about creating value as a service provider, Geraldine? What do you think?
Actually, I had an opinion on what Stephen was saying. Can I just contribute on that?
Yeah, please do.
I'm thinking that in the financial sector, it will attract a certain sort of personality to come to that sector, right? People that I come across in the service industry, we have different sort of drive or motivation. So it's not to say that Group A is driven by finance and nothing, is driven by money and nothing else, versus Group B is driven by something else and not money. Not to say that. I think it's just a matter of maybe a stronger driving force. So that's just my observation. Yeah.
Early this morning, my dear friends, Stephen and Geraldine, I was invited to be a speaker as a panel speaker together with some industry leaders of the financial and insurance sector and financial advisory professionals. Yeah, and one of the questions raised upon our this morning dialogue was that the next slide would have this question. I put it there. Capturing from this morning's session is that currently, what are the financial planning skills for financial planners? what are the skills that is still relevant to the job at hand, right? That means pay a service fee to do a good job. What are some criteria? Can we sort of match out some latest competency criteria needed for people who can be absorbed into the industry to really create this sustainable value? Is a quick learner good? Do we need people who are self-starter?
Always good.
Do we need people who are very flexible and adaptable to situation like what we are all facing? Do we need people who are self-motivated? All right, and I sort of put this adaptable under pressure. I capture some statistics as well in some reading materials that mental health is suffering. Lots of people are having mental health issues because they can't adapt and cope to under the tremendous pressure in work and the current environment. So
it changes to the environment.
Yes. And of course, in the training coaching industry like mine, always we encourage management to appoint certain leaders to be the coach, to be able to listen to these team members' concerns, worries, issues. We may not solve all the issues, right, guys? But at least we listen to them and maybe be a point of a reference to point them to certain solutions and certain advice to help them out in their pressure moments, in the hot pressure moment that they are all in. Agree? What do you think, guys? Geraldine and Stephen, what do you think?
I think it's absolutely true. You need all these qualities, and you need all these criteria, I would say, the attributes, because today the financial world has evolved. Everyone is in the market. Believe it or not, you can find many I would say financial instruments or financial players in the market. So all the you have mentioned earlier on there, I think it is true. You need to have those to survive. Yeah.
Yep. I totally agree. I think in terms of competencies that are listed there, in a very funny way, I can see that maybe there's some that has to emerge first, and then the others can follow. I'm guessing that the flexibility part of things, maybe that's the one that has to rise up first, and then it comes to self-motivated, and followed by self-starter. Once you have that motivation, you got to look around and figure out how to start, how to begin, where to begin, right? Yes. And then the quick learner attribute comes in. You know, just within 2 weeks, you have to pivot. And then you just start looking around, right? Exactly. So it's a fight and flight, but it's more crazy than that right now. And finally, you can be a good coach because you have started something, you have experienced something, and you can help others whilst they are having a mental breakdown, like you said, Tim.
Right.
So in a weird way, I suddenly saw first, second, third, fourth, that kind of thing.
I sort of also thought the next thing I'm going to post is to my two friends and to the audience tonight is this. Let's help people who are at a sudden news that say, thank you, you're no longer needed to work in this company in view of COVID. Thank you very much. You do not need to come back to office any longer because we are downsizing. Now, if a particular individual want to look for a new opportunity, they want to thrive in a new environment, they want to be giving a go to venture into something brand new, different, out of their comfort zone. For example, when I was a scuba diving instructor when I was very young,
you were
a scuba diving instructor.
You want so many things.
Yeah. When my dad said, no son, you got to go and study law, because my surname is law, you got to graduate with a law degree. And I suddenly sort of graduated, study a degree, and then I come out to work, right? I come out to work. The shift of an industry, laissez-faire, the sun, the beach, the speedboat, the pretty ladies, the night dive, the moon and the stars, whatever. Now come to wear a coat and a tie and clock in 9 to 5, So, Stephen, so what would you think? Can we help our fellow Malaysians who got to go into a new industry, got to thrive into something new? What are 3 critical skills you think you as a CEO? What are the 3 skills you can advise them so that they can pick up this very quickly and imbibe and embrace into a new environment ASAP? To blend in and adapt? What are the 3 critical skills?
Well, there's 2 questions that I heard. There's one. The first question is that what can we do for the Malaysians? So my advice to you: come to 360. We'll provide you a solution.
Well, so you provide them with what?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So, what do they need to do amid this situation in terms of the climate of loss of job, pay cut and things like that? Am I right? Is that the question?
Yes, correct.
All right. Like I've mentioned earlier on, we have to adapt to the situation. I came from a environment where I am today is because of the environment have pushed me forward. And I'm so glad, I'm so glad that happened because you came out. If you're resilient, like I said, you will come out even strong. Yeah, you will come out even stronger. You will come out even more, even faster in this situation. So my advice is this: look into believing that the market will continue to grow, because in this situation, whereby during the financial crisis. If not mistaken, let me quote on 2008, where SARS, 2003, SARS came into there's a virus, SARS. I'm sure everyone knows about. Amidst that situation, after 6 months later, the market bounced back in terms of the investment, and the insurance market have actually rose up. Why? Because suddenly, for a flip of a moment, everyone realized that financial protection is very important. So that happens. So I would say that even in right now, we might see that it is very slowed down in terms of all the industry. But in the insurance industry, it has been always, resilient. We are stable. But I will say that after the MCO, this market will explode again, will again rebound back into its even higher. So because people knows that financial protection is definitely a need.
A need.
Everyone wants. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And that will be sorry, Doctor. One more. Yeah. And that will be the opportunity, guys, for those of you who are, with this in a meeting waiting for the market to rebound back. This is where the opportunity is. This is where the situation whereby we have gathered out and we will spring back on board into the momentum again. Yeah. Thank you.
Now, gentlemen, let me stop you guys. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Would you be able to get some of the feedback from our participant audience?
Yeah, I was just about to pop one through.
Yes.
This is a comment by Kelvin. Agreed to the adapt part, but it would not be easy getting employment when you don't have the experience in the field. So what would you advise in this situation? In the new field, correct. In the new field.
Don't have experience in the new field.
Like probably Stephen's background. He was a designer and then suddenly he joined an insurance company. So what would your advice be in this situation?
All right. Perhaps I'll answer this question as is. Kelvin, thanks, Kelvin. Thank you so much for this question. I think it's very valuable and it's very true, because if you want to move forward to something, you will definitely need to have some skill sets. You definitely need to have some knowledge. This is where the financial industry is very, I would say, lucrative in a way that it provides you training and supports the know-how to do it on a step-to-step basis. So this is quite interesting, Kevin, because when I was in the situation back then with the financial crisis, when I moved off, I was only thinking about one thing: how can I put food on the table? So that amidst that situation, I will do whatever it takes. But that was then, and 20 years back. Right now, what you need is knowledge. You need to be trained. You need to be equipped with the knowledge and skill set. So that's where it is that as to be a financial advisor. Let's say, for example, get trained, get knowledge, get a coach. In other words, get a wealth mentors for yourself. This is where it can be.
Right.
To those of you who have more questions for Dr. Tim and Stephen, please feel free to type and we'll get them answered. Yeah.
Maybe on my part, I would advise Kelvin in this manner, this perspective. Don't have the experience in a particular new field. Well, let's see what's your passion. If you feel that you want to, take an example. Maybe it is a better way of explaining it in a metaphoric way. For example, you have always loved to be a chef. You always love to see how Jamie Oliver cooks Italian on the TV shows. And now, because there is this situation that warrants us to go to a new environment. Previously, maybe you have been working in a bank, for example, Kelvin. For example, previously you have always been working in the bank for the past 12 years. And now, because of the current situation of MCO, you say, okay, I've always loved to be a chef, Well, give it a try. Go for it. Launch it. Get partners. Talk to people. Hey, guys, I actually want to be a chef, Can I come to your house? Ask Geraldine and ask Stephen, Dr. D, can I cook for your dinner on Saturday night, something Italian?
Yes,
that would be fantastic. That would be fantastic.
So I guess, Dr. Tim, your advice would be around the region of go for it because this is the time to do it.
Just do it. Just launch it. Just give it a try. That this reset button is the best opportunity ever happened. Everyone is on the equal footing and restart it. Things that you have not done before. Hey, Geraldine, right, and Stephen, my dear good friends, Tim usually had been many years do a lot of session platform speaking in environment of classroom or closed environment.
I know I hate
it. Because of the situation, I also ask myself, hey, I always love speaking, right? Yeah, I do. I always love engaging crowds, right? Yes, I do. Now, can I now, Geraldine, can we do something online or not? Let's try it, right? So go for it, Kelvin. Just launch it and be bold enough. You will have the support, and this must be in a manner that the support system, the infrastructure, and the ecosystem which we are providing. That's why Geraldine have organized all these shows on different nights on different topics to support, to advise, and then in the business sense, Stephen and the team and certain leaders are there to support. Me being a coach, I'm always ready to support as well. It could be certain technical matters, it could be certain of knowledge, it could be certain hands-held competency needs, skills that need to be transferred. So that there are support. Ask for it, look for it. I think people are there willing to help. Thank you. Now.
Actually, adding on to Dr. Tim's comment, I think one more area that we haven't mentioned can be networking. So when you network, when you join, I don't know, if you're looking for areas, opportunities or avenues, when you start networking, then maybe your eyes and your ears become sharper and maybe you pick on something. So it's very helpful. Yeah,
Indeed.
like my friendship with Dr. Tim, actually, it is quite new. I just got to know Dr. Tim recently. I mean, back in October, but we recently got connected once again during this MCO period, and this new initiative came about. Guys, Kelvin says something else. He says that, for example, a restaurant owner that had to close down due to the situation now is forced to go back to work and penetrate the corporate world. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so in line with what we are saying, so what kind of skills or what kind of competency would this restaurant owner have? This restaurant owner, I think, is very clear that he didn't mention the chef or the wait staff. He mentioned the owner, the business owner of the restaurant.
Sometimes life is cruel, isn't it? Yeah. Sometimes life is cruel. They are advice from spiritual aspect or advice from gurus or mentors, coaches. It's like sometimes when we encounter tough situation, the reason of us encountering that is to mold us better. All right, to make us better. We somehow as human, when we go through it, it takes us to another level of experience, another level of learning new things, another experience to discover ourselves better. This shift, what I always love to do, now I got to do something different, which I may not like. But out of that, you may not like it, but still learn something out of it now. Still learn something out of it. Like in my PowerPoint here, I sort of match it with certain keywords. So for example, a business restaurant owner now got to work back in corporate world. So what are some skills needed to adapt to blend back into corporate world? Last time was a restaurant business owner. Now the skill set here is important. High energy level. Every management, every bosses level, any CEO, any leader would love to have their team to have high energetic level, good teamwork, the rest are flexibility, initiative. Yeah, all bosses, this skill set that I've highlighted here, the keywords here, these are evergreens. That means must have. Competency means having the right skill set, the right person doing the right job, and these are the skills. Whatever industry across board, most managers, CEO will want to have their team members acquire some of these, if not all of these skills. Yeah. The next slide, Geraldine, thank you. The next slide is also I detected this from one of the survey did by BWC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, during week 2 of MCO. So in the research of PricewaterhouseCoopers is that they detected that currently, if we were to be skillful and competent to work in a brand new environment, we need to be a good problem solver. We need to have good interpersonal skills. We need to have good resilience. And then you will see that on the top, on the left-hand side, leadership skills, creativity, negotiation skills, commercial awareness. So these are key areas of competency for individuals, for us to blend in to the situation, especially after MCO. If MCO is lifted, these are some important competencies to help individuals face and embrace the new normal in work and in organizations. What do you think, Stephen and Geraldine? What do you guys think?
Oh, firstly, I just wanted to address that I think the chart is a little bit small on the front, on the end of Google or on Facebook. It's okay, but you've essentially read out all the skills that are important. Just that the chart is visible. It's just the words around it we can't see. Yeah. So, but Tim has read out almost everything around this chart. Yeah. So to quote that this is from PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers.
Yes.
Well, it's still written here, adaptability and communication being very important. So I think in the case of the restaurant owner as an example, right? Yeah, as someone who has had a taste of business ownership, entrepreneurship, right? I think a lot of these competencies come quite naturally, or they have experienced it to a higher degree during their entrepreneurship journey. Even though now the restaurant is closed, maybe the extra skill that he picked up was an F&B management. So maybe now that he has to go back to the corporate world, who is to say that he can't join the F&B world? Big brand, a brand with many, how to say, a company with many brands, many restaurants. Yeah, so his competency as entrepreneurship before this could really help him to sail through or glide through. Maybe he can help the company do strategic management or risk management, because he himself has experienced some difficulties, and who knows, the F&B company is also facing the same challenges. He can see something that just an employee may not be able to see or detect.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Now, addressing something to Stephen. Stephen, for example, if a person who is wanting to join the industry of yours, in financial industry, now, if the person is the background has been non-financial related, they are not accountants, they are not good in numbers, so but they now want to come into your industry, okay? Isn't it your industry in financial banking industry, financial advisory is about look at financial statements, look at KPIs, look at check on quarterly business result, and then plan for the subsequent trends 3 months down the road. So, Stephen, as a CEO, how would we help people really to embrace this, to say that, hey, don't worry, it's okay, this is the opportunity to reset, let's work on it together. What are the mechanisms that you have put in place? I read from your website especially that in your company you have a very structured manner to help people from zero and then take them step by step to help them confidently adapt well into the financial industry. Share with us a bit of your mechanism and your processes, Stephen.
All right, thank you. Yes, for someone who has I mean, the question that if someone who does not have any financial knowledge and do not have any numbering mindset and things like that, right? How would they know how to go about in terms of financial reports? So let me put this across. You might not need to do that. You might not need
really?
to know.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah. Everything follow me. Well, basically, in the financial insurance is the product that we provide our services to our
Okay.
clients. Yeah?
Okay.
Investment is the product that it is. However, we have fund managers. We have people at the back end operation to manage the situation. For example, funds performance. They have the fund managers. There are people who calculate how much premium to pay, and basically these are already been done by professionals. So in the financial industry,
Wow.
we don't step into the area whereby the experts are doing it. We are handling the part whereby we consolidate and market the products. That is the most important thing. And to admit that, we continue to build teams like a business and to train people to understand the importance of the products that it is. So this is the first and foremost. And second, you asked that how to go about what are the ways that we have to get someone from point A to point B to point C. Basically, it is just as it is. There's A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. So there's always steps towards certain things. In order for you to move from point A to point C, you have to start from the very beginning to understand how the system of the building a business in financial planning works. That's where the training comes into you. And second and foremost, that how do you amass clientele? And then there is also another step forward that we provide a crucial mentorship to you. And then the third is that how do you do that in terms of amassing a team of sales, a team of practitioners together to build the business together with you. And all this is a step-by-step thing. We take you by the hand, 1, 2, and 3. So this is what 360 is all about. We take you from point A to point B to point C. That's how we do it.
My dear audience, look at the screen. Back to school, So Geraldine is nailing it right. Let's all go back to school. and Geraldine, the headmistress, back to school here, will direct it to Stephen. So friends, hope is here. Hope is here. If anyone wants to look for opportunities, hope is here. Talk to Stephen, talk to Geraldine, talk to me. I think we are hearing from Stephen that there is a very set structure to assist. So rest assured, be at peace, and just go for it. Now, there's one question Annie asked. It is a transition period. Can be easy to some, but challenging to many. Better analyze the future prospect of current job or new venture when making the transition. All right. Whatever your decision is, make sure in similar situation like now happens again, you are in good shape. Yes, indeed, Annie. My dear friends, Annie is a highly respected professional. Annie here is a wonderful lady that I got to know her as well. A leader in her own right, and also a good coach. Coaching many young people as well as professionals to become better in the world of financial advisory. Yes, indeed. Passion doesn't make us. Passion doesn't make us rich, but we see money. Passion grows.
Grows.
Yeah. How true, Annie. Indeed. Yeah.
Thank you, Annie,
now,
for your input.
Good one, Annie. Yes, thank you very much, Annie. That's fine. The support system is here. Correctly demonstrated by Geraldine and Stephen. Friends in the industry. This is the moment to help and support.
Hold on, Tim. Hold on. We are losing you for a while. Let's give it a moment. Okay, let's start again.
All right. This is a good demonstration of how friends in the industry collaborate. Help is here. Thank you, Annie, for sharing your thoughts. And Annie is also a super wonderful coach also. So now let's move on. I got one slide, Geraldine, which is recruitment and talent acquisition top 3 concerns.
Which one is that?
The next one. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Now let's do a little bit of fun activity here. So for example, Geraldine and Stephen, all right, you are back to school and then you graduated. So you meet a recruiter like this Mr. Tim here, who can be very strict, not smiling. And I ask you, Geraldine, so you went back to school, you have gone through your training. Now you want to look for this role as say for example as in client engagement advisor, for example. Geraldine, your role
business advisor.
Yes, client business advisor. Yes,
I haven't gone for an interview in like 10 years.
Oh my God.
Job interview. Client business advisor. Okay, all right. I'll imagine I know what's that. Okay.
You are the good candidate. So Geraldine, can you do this role? Can you do this job or not? All right. This is the question that I think a recruiter will bang hard and ask, right? Geraldine, do you think you can do this job and this role well? Second question, Geraldine, do you want this role and job or not? How willing are you, Geraldine? Do you really want this role? Do you really want this job? Okay. Now the third question, why are you the best person for this role or job to fit into the company? I heard some interviewers in actual interviewing session, they asked, out of 5 candidates that we have met, you are the number 6. Why should I choose you? All right. Now, if we scale it towards helping our audience, a fellow Malaysian society, those that are looking for a new environment, looking for a new job, what would be some of the response if the recruiter asks you, can you do this role? Can you do this job? Do you want this role? Do you want this job? Why do you think we should hire you? So, Geraldine and Stephen, if you are the candidate, please advise, give some tips. Give us some tips. How would you handle these 3 tough questions from a recruiter?
So it's basically the skill, the will, and the fit. Okay. Stephen, why don't you go first? I'm going to steal your answer. I'm also digesting. You're putting us
Usually these are the questions that we interview other people.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so what can I do this role? So before I step into the interview room, right, I will definitely look for the JB. So because I'm a bit more detail oriented, so I will look at the JD really, really hard. And I'm also quite lazy in the sense that I don't like to take on, if it's a job that I deem too difficult and I may not like it, so I will not first and foremost go through with the interview. I am lazy that way. Yeah, I only want to do something that I'm not only comfortable with, that I'm willing to do. It has not so much to do with the skill, to that extent. Again, I think if I'm green-eyed, fresh graduate, 22 years old, then I'm a little bit different. But right now, if the drive and the motivation is a bit more different right now. Yeah. So if I can do this role, if I can do this job, why am I the best person? I will give you my heart and soul.
Wow.
Yeah. And for the things that I cannot do and I cannot understand, I will learn. I am a self-starter.
Fantastic self-starter. Stephen, what do you think? What do you think?
Well, okay. I have a real case, real life scenario here. You see, back then when I lost my job. Okay, when I lost my job, I remember this vividly. When I lost my job, I was going every single direction, to find a opening. So what happened was, you see, I'm in the art industry. You see, from the advertising industry. So I have nothing related to anything on the science side, the science. So I was so desperate. I was really desperate. I guess it is really you're willing to do it or not. Whether you can do it or not is whether you're willing to do it or not. I agree.
Yeah.
I went
the
for the
motivation.
interview.
Wow.
I went for the interview with a pharmaceutical company. I do not have any financial or science paper. I do not have any maths. I have no higher grade qualification to fit that position, as the word called fit. And when the interview came in, the manager sitting right in front of me and asking me tons of questions about products, about medication, about I do not know. I can't answer, but I can. I only did one thing. I said, "Sir, I'm willing, and I will do it. Can you provide me this opportunity, and I'll show you that I can do it immediately. Just give me some time." Yeah.
Yes.
So from that moment, of course, I didn't get hired. If I get if I ever got hired, today I will be in the pharmaceutical line. Yeah. But what I'm trying to put across here is that if this question was really truly asked me, it really did ask onto my life. You see. I believe that if someone like maybe Kelvin or someone who is out there who's thinking that what are the situations that I have, and given the consequences and scenario, yes, it's a transition period, like what Annie mentioned. That's very true. But I believe the willpower is more important the
Yeah.
willpower to go through any situation to get the job done. So this is my way of looking
Yes.
into it. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I can't
yes,
agree more
yes.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
The
Fantastic.
skill is in the hand, the will is in the heart,
Fantastic.
and the mindset.
Yeah.
Correct.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Now,
I
next
won't get
slide.
the job too, Stephen. We can continue looking for jobs.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, now before we end, I know time is catching up. It's already 10 o'clock now. Two more slides. Geraldine, just two more slides. The next one, the following one, on equation, a simple math equation. Yeah. Albert Einstein have always created. He created this dynamic equation of E equals mc square. Okay, now being a HR practitioner myself, I sort of love this equation, using it into the hiring process. And I know, Stephen, I saw from your website and I hear from industry practice that you, in your environment of your ALC environment of the agency, leaders, corporation dynamics of it, I think you also practice this unknowingly. You have been the sifu. You have been the todai of our Albert Einstein. Because
Sorry, what is that? What is Totai?
that means the coachee lah,
Student.
the
Student.
student,
Okay,
the
okay.
student.
Now everyone
So,
knows I can't speak Chinese. Okay.
You see, because CEO like Stephen, they already applied certain methodology, certain approach. But if not knowing that it's already a proven formula, so I know very much that in Stephen's environment, you would have one to gear for number one. People come for recruitment exercise and go through interview. The interviewer would want to practice hiring effectiveness. No time wasted, no resources wasted. Sharp, precise. So you have practiced hiring effectiveness. And then M, masterful developmental plan. I think as I study your website and I talk to practitioners in the industry, ALC seems to have this masterful developmental plan. Correct, Stephen? It is more
That's
of a sequential step by step to guide them through so that they master a new skill. All right.
Correct.
And of course, C equals to the correct hire. The E equals to faster time of productivity, enhanced job engagement, and of course, sustainability. The desire to stay with the organization longer. So maybe as this simple math equation can apply into our audience, into our lives, into our roles, respective roles as CEO, HR people, recruiter, event activator. So this math equation, I hope, will be something for us to reflect, to reflect. And I love to have subsequent sessions to explore. If some of y'all would like to know more about how this equation being deployed and implemented in Stephen's environment, in his ALC environment, just contact Geraldine. And Geraldine will be able to furnish the necessary contact for us to be in touch with you. Yeah. Now, next slide, social media. Okay. So, social media. Now, the talent war started already. Everyone, as I browse through Facebook, every companies, insurance agency, mutual funds, MLM, everyone starts to grab for talents. Yeah. Now, just for a reminder here for our audience who are business owners, HR directors, hiring managers, talent managers, talent acquisition managers, bear in mind the people that are coming in potentially wanting to size us up, whether they want to join us, whether they want to join your company, your organization, whether they see the future, the next 2, 3, 5 years with your organization. First point of contact. They actually check us out on Facebook, social media, LinkedIn. All right. Yeah. So this is got to be very mindful, because I know some people will say good branding equals to good HR. Good HR means you walk the talk, you walk your credibility, you carry out your values, and it's seen demonstrated, not just tagline, not just a phrase, but it's seen demonstrated throughout the organization. So our audience outside, people who are wanting to look for new environment, adapt quickly to a new role, or start a new business, become a new startup entrepreneur, social media impact to recruitment is important. So do look into this aspect to maintain and sustain your brand, so that it is always up to the mark. There are horror stories which I gather from HR directors, interviewers, that sometimes after finish the interview, the candidate put on their own Facebook and say the interview sucks. No, the interviewer
Oh
is
dear.
just not good enough to conduct the interview session. All right, so the back end, the backslashing of people comments will reflect the brand of the company who is supposed to be offering the opportunity, offering the chance for people to be part of their team. All right. So I put there, what are your candidates saying about you? Okay. Now so we comes to the end of our session for today. Obviously, I hope everyone stay on the course for this 1 whole hour, right? I hope everyone learned something and get to take home some nuggets and some tips. Any questions? Any questions and feedback?
We don't
Of
have a
that,
question, but at the moment, Kelvin, I mean, not at the moment, this came in when we were at the tail end of describing the skill, will, and fit. So Kelvin responded this for the skill. Yes, it's a positive mindset to walk in with, and of course must also be able to do the job. Second, definitely apart the needing the job, the drive is strong and the hunger must be there. And thirdly, this, because I know Kelvin personally, so this is his answer. I am the puzzle piece that is missing to complete the big picture. So that's his answer. Should the interviewer ask him, why should we pick you when you're the 6th person in line? Yeah.
Oh, that's very good. That's very creative.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very
Very good.
romantic. Very romantic
good.
answer.
Romantic.
Yeah.
Very confident. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe Calvin, I would love to hear from you again. Yeah, I would love to see whether what areas of skills, how to handle tough, difficult questions from a recruiter. There are two sides of the coin. On one hand, we can train interviewers to ask good questions and behave and act and deploy the role as a fantastic high-class recruiter. Yet on the other side, we can also train the recruitee how to respond, how to be better prepared in case they meet someone who really give them a tough time. Yeah. So Kelvin, contact Geraldine. Let Geraldine knows your contact number, and then I love to hear from you. And I think Stephen, I think you can also lend a helping hand as a business coach yourself. To see how we can help young Kelvin here to be better effective to face these challenging moments during interview. Yeah. All right.
He's
And
actually,
go to the audience also. Please,
yeah.
We welcome. If
He's
you need any help,
he's actually asking a lot of good questions for, I think, one of two reasons. He's in the financial line himself, and he's doing a very good job during the crisis. But he noticed that in his team, there are some people probably struggling, or maybe he noticed around him, not just his team, not just his workplace, there could be a lot of other people, even his friends. That is why he's asking questions. He's participating tonight. Yeah, even
Thank
because
you.
we always discuss this, and he's been an interviewer himself and interviewee as well. So we always talk about this because we like to talk about the psychological approaches of this. Yeah. So in terms of nailing your job interview, that kind of thing. So that's part of the
Yes,
competency,
yes,
you see? Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes, yeah.
So we
This
always have
falls
animated discussion on this.
right. This falls under behavioral interviewing skills and techniques. This falls under the realm of not just asking a dinosaur question. Tell me a bit about yourself. Tell me about this.
Yeah,
And your
yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
dinosaur. The behavioral aspects of interviewing looks at the doing part. What are some of the doing actionable steps that the person can able to handle the job? So as a person looking for a job, going through an interview, if you can describe it using behavioral interviewing skills and technique, able to articulate certain steps and actionable records that what you did to help in a particular situation, that will address the issue there. To address the difficult recruiter in that manner. Yeah.
Yep, understand. Dr. Tim, we shall not go into that because you and
Yes.
I will be talking a lot on that if we start.
Yes. Correct.
Okay,
All
all
right.
right. We are towards the end. Would you guys like to just say a few words to wrap up what we've spoken today?
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Geraldine. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Tip, for inviting me to share my thoughts on the word called competency. And it's very great to meet a lot of you here. And I hope to come back, one day, come back again, share with you more ideas in the business or financial world. All right. Thank you so much,
Yes.
everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you for coming on board and joining me and Geraldine tonight for this wonderful session that we have. Yeah, I always respect your experience and as a leader in your own capacity, in your own right. I got lots of things to learn from you also, Stephen. And to fellow audience, thank you for participating. Thank you for staying on, and I really hope that you do learn some things and also have some tips to help you along. If you need any further listening here, you need someone to give you another perspective, we are available. Thank you, Geraldine. Thank you for being a fantastic host, a fantastic webinar activator. That really something wow. Geraldine,
Thank you, Dr. Tim. Thank you. Actually, the thanks go out to both of you for firstly agreeing to be on this show. This show is such a baby in its journey. So both of you coming and sharing your experience, it's wonderful. It's not how many live audience we have, it's actually how much depth we can gather in each program. And that's actually why I look forward to having guests like both of you. So personal thanks, I'll do it behind the show, but on the show itself, really from the bottom of my heart, thank you, Dr. Timothy. Thank you, Mr. Stephen. So with that, I shall wrap up the show. Audience, thank you so much for your participation. There's still messages coming in to say thank you to the both of you. Jovis just joined us and she is in the financial world herself. She's actually saying financial world is exciting.
Yes.
I know Jovis, she is a very energetic ball of a person. So yes, her passion, you can actually, it's exuding. And yeah, I can definitely pick her out from the crowd and straight away label, this girl is in the financial world. Because that's just the core competency that the people in that world have. Yeah. Okay. So with this show coming to an end, I would just like to mention that the next show is actually this Friday, the same time, 9 p.m. And it's going to be about health and wealth. And two of my guests, Francis Lim and Maggie Check, will be joining us. And they've got a great show in stock. Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us. All right. Good night,
Thank you.
Stephen. Good night, team.
Okay, thank you.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Stay safe.